Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, I walk around the neighborhood, feeling blessed.
Hey guys, welcome back to yet another video on Natalie's Reviewing History channel. Today I'll be going over chapter 1.3, why did Japan emerge as a world power and what was the impact on international relations? The first section is reasons for rapid modernization and military development, which started in the early 1800s because Japan was not a very modern country at the time and used an old social system and barter economy where people didn't pay for taxes with like money, but instead used like crops and like other things. Foreigners were mostly kept outside, and the military was samurai, and they held most of the power within the country. But when the US and other Western countries pushed Japan to start trading, Japan realized that they had to catch up fast or they were at risk of being taken over by China. In 1853, the US ships under the Commodore Perry demanded that Japan trade with them, and Japan couldn't fight the modern weapons with their samurai swords, so they signed a deal where they had to trade. And by 1867, the Meiji Restoration began. The emperor took control and focused on modernizing everything: the government, education, military, and the industry. And Japan took influence from Western systems and built factories and railroads. 1/3 of the national budget went to the army and the navy, and the boys had to do military service, and students were taught to obey the emperor, which was a new government system that they were implementing. Japan also wanted to take over other lands to get more resources like coal and steel, and this led to its first victory against China in the Sino-Japanese War in 1894. International recognition of Japan as a world power. After they defeated China, Japan faced threats from Russia, who wanted land in Korea and Manchuria. Britain was worried about the Russian expansion because it could hurt its colonies that they had in Asia. But at the same time, Britain was starting to feel weak after the Boer Wars and needed more allies. In 1902, Britain and Japan signed the Anglo-Japanese Alliance, which was they became allies and they agreed to help each other if attacked by more than one country. This gave Japan like more respect since they were teaming up with Britain and started getting real allies. Then in 1904, Japan shocked the world by defeating Russia in the Russo-Japanese War. Japan's navy had crushed the Russian military, and the war ended with the Treaty of Portsmouth, and Japan was now being seen as a global military power, especially within Asia. Japan's role in the First World War and global position by 1918. When World War I started, Japan joined the side of Britain and declared war on Germany in 1914. Japan's main job was to take control of the German colonies in the Pacific and Indian Oceans, and while Europe was busy fighting, Japan used this chance to expand its influence throughout Asia. Japan started selling goods into the East and that Europe could no longer provide because they were busy with war, and it allowed more trade, and it doubled their economy and really helped them grow as a country. They also took over German-controlled areas in China, like the Shantung province, and the Western powers weren't really that focused on Japan since they were more focused on World War I. Between 1916 and 1918, Japan gave China several loans and this allowed that Japan could control more of China. But countries like the US and Britain started to become concerned with the more power that Japan was growing, and even they thought that Japan wanted to take over all of China. But after this, Japan had proven itself that it's becoming stronger and stronger, and ended up as a major world power by the end of World War I. In conclusion, by the end of World War I, Japan had transformed from a rural, undeveloped country into a powerful modern empire that took influence from Western countries. Through the Meiji Restoration, rapid modernization, and better military investments, Alongside their defeats against China and Russia, Japan had earned respect during this period of time. And also, they expanded their influence in Asia, and basically, that's it. Like, Japan just became a major world power at this time. The end. I hope this chapter was summarized well, and thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.